Hi, I'm Rosie and this is my third YouTube, and I've explained before why I have set up this YouTube channel, and it is because I want to encourage expression for people to talk about their stuff, and I talk about quite personal things, and I want to be as real as I can be. So my YouTubes aren't that polished. I mean, they're not. I literally just get on here and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to do YouTube, and I have to gear myself up for it, of course, but I don't edit them. I do practice them a bit, but I just want to be as real and as honest as I can be, because I do believe that when you are true to yourself, you create the best life you can create. So my last YouTube, I talked about being suicidal, and so I talked about being suicidal, and I wanted to share that with people. It was literally only a couple of weeks ago where I felt that bad, because I don't want, I want to be real, and I don't want to talk about something that happened to me 20 years ago and say, oh, 20 years ago I was really suicidal and this happened and blah blah blah. I want people to know this is literally what's happening to me right now, and I'm still doing my work. In fact, I'm going to talk about that in this YouTube. I still function, but I just want to say, everyone struggles, and it's not like I'm on this journey. So yeah, so basically I just wanted to let people know that's why they're a bit raw, so it is, so people can view the journey, and it is, it's something for me to look back on, and to maybe encourage people that do a YouTube yourself, or do whatever, do whatever you're passionate about to get your voice out there, and you can do it. It doesn't matter if last week you felt horrendous. If you're feeling a little bit better this week, or a little bit more functional, then you can still do something. You can still, if you feel like you can create or get yourself out there, that's perfect. Do it, and don't let what happened even yesterday or 5 minutes ago hold you back if your energy's changed. So that's my message, that we all struggle, and that's why I'm doing this, to encourage people who are struggling to get their voice out there and to express themselves. And also I want to do a shout out to a couple of people that I'm inspired by. So I look on YouTube a lot, and I found another YouTuber who her name is Secret May. That's Secret and then MAE, like in one word. Look her up. She's like me. She channels. She's very spiritual, but she hasn't got like thousands of followers. She's just literally, I mean, she might do actually, but I'm pretty sure she just seemed really real, like me. Like I really related to her, and I thought, like, you go girl. And I just like, I found her quite inspiring, just because she was very down to earth, and she was experiencing suicidal thoughts. She's done a YouTube herself about it. She's channeled like Satan and the devil, and she talks about that as well. I've done that as well, but I'll do that in another YouTube. But so I want to do a shout out to her. I also want to do a shout out to my other friend who's on Facebook, and I found her very inspiring. Her name's Eleanor Mann. You look her up on Facebook. She does Facebook Lives, and I really enjoyed and found it inspiring watching her and her realness. And then my partner, he's done a YouTube as well, and I find him very inspiring. And his YouTube is called Everyone is God. So, you know, he literally, he's got no religious background, but he believes from he's got a degree in physics, and he got his degree from like Oxford University. So it's like, you know, he's not stupid, he's very, very intelligent, and he, from his degree in physics, he came to this realisation that everyone is God and that we are all connected. So yeah, if you're interested in the science and stuff behind it, you could like follow him, and he's going to do some more YouTubes about that and stuff. But another thing I want to talk about on this YouTube is separatism, and how we separate ourselves from negative experiences. So for example, I've had this realisation this morning. I did a EFT channel session on a lovely lady that I see, and we were doing some work, and there's aspects of her mother that actually remind me of my mother, and I do believe that we are all reflections of one another. So if there's people in your life that challenge you, they are an aspect of you. And I do believe that the people that challenge us the most are actually the gift. They're our best friends in another sense. So for example, my mum, I used to have really bad rows with her. She did her best, like she was an amazing mother, and I know she loves me very much, but she's got a temper, and she can be very supportive with you if like she can support anyone if she doesn't have an issue, if you don't have an issue directly with her. But if you do have an issue directly with her, she can't talk to you rationally. I mean, my experience of my mum is that it will turn into a row. And, you know, I know I'm creating that experience, but I always, when I've had full-blown rows with her, like screaming matches, I've always separated myself from it, feeling like I'm the one that's trying to be rational, I'm the one that's trying to resolve this, and she's the one that's creating the row. And even though I know what I know, like we create everything in our reality and she's an aspect of me, I still couldn't come to fully resonate with that concept and that truth, because I do believe it is a truth that we are everyone. And I still used to feel this separation from her. But in those times when I'm rounding, and at the moment I don't really speak with her. I haven't spoken to her for months and months, and we've had a row, and that's why I'm not speaking with her. But I had this realisation this morning with my lady that I saw this morning from EFT, and she had full-blown rows with her mother, and in the session and the guides that I was channeling for her session, the realisation came that in those rows that she's had, even though her mother's older and her mother is the parent, it actually made her feel level with her, because she was able to express herself, even though it's dysfunctional and it's, you know, it's not very nice to have a screaming match with your mother or anyone for that matter. But in that aggression and that screaming at each other, you're expressing yourself and you're feeling level. And that's made me realise what my mother's given me in those screaming matches that I've had since I was a kid, more or less. Since I was, I probably about 12 or 13 when I started, like, my mum has always had a temper, but when I started shouting back at her, I've come to that realisation myself, and so I've just wanted to sort of share that with you, and to give people maybe some insight, and to maybe encourage other, you guys, if you're watching this, to consider things in your life that have caused you upset, and what, things that you can't work out why they're happening, and what is it that why you're creating this in your life, because it can take a long time, especially if it's something awful that has happened. And what I am realising, and I knew this a long time ago, but I'm resonating with this more, that the term victim separates you from your power. So even though when something awful happens, of course you feel like a victim. If you've been a victim of an awful crime or an awful form of abuse, then you've got every right to feel like that. But at the same time, feeling like that and holding that energy of being a victim will separate you from your power. So this is another thing I'd like, my sort of message, have a think about, or whatever, if you want to do whatever you get from this video, is that we are the perpetrator just as much as the victim. And that is a really hard concept to get your head around, especially if you've been a victim of an awful crime or an awful form of abuse or something. And I've got experience of this, and this is something I'm working through in my own journey for my own healing. I've been a victim, or I've experienced, I don't really want to give myself that term victim, because I'm trying to embrace my power from all of my experiences. But I've experienced a form of child sex abuse, and I'm healing it in my own way now. But I'm realising that I've got to come to terms with I'm just that the paedophile, the perpetrator who interfered with me, just as much as I'm me and I felt like the victim. I'm that and as I'm saying it, I'm struggling to get it out, because it's like you can feel it like, no, that's not me, but it is me. Like, when we separate ourselves from these things, and that's what victim energy does, when you hold it, it takes your power away. You're not whole. You're constantly the victim. So my message is, think about that. Think about like what makes you feel like a victim. Why are you holding that? And there is something in it for you. I promise. I've experienced. I'm going through this journey now. I'm having revelations now, even over my own childhood with my mother. So literally, you will. And yeah, so I'm sending lots of love, and keep being true to yourself, and just consider what I'm saying about, victim and your own power, okay? And I believe in you, I believe in everyone, and I believe that we are all each other, we are all God, and we are all able to create the life we dream of, and the life that will make us happy. So much love to all of you. Thanks for watching, and if you found it interesting or you want to subscribe. I don't usually say that, but I want to, so I'll, subscribe. And if you want to share this video, share it. I'm just, I just want to get it out there, get the love out there, get the power out there, the joining of ourselves out there. Okay, lots of love, God bless, and namaste.